see balance. I want to see a good mix of early game, late game. I want to see a good mix of range, crowd control, and right now their draft is looking very balanced.
Yeah, but there is one thing that they're missing. BTK, I'm saying, there's a lot of magic damage. A little too much magic damage for my taste.
I think it's honestly okay because I don't see any way that Navi can really start pushing their advantages. They're going to be heavily depending on this Selena to make all the difference. And you know what? You can't just have one outlet. We're going to have to go for another early game outlet. Right now, in terms of scaling, BTK has got them beat here. Navi will have to play for the early to mid stages of the game because there are some very clear direct counters coming in for BTK. Some great drafting here.
Plus, pick your poison.
Yep.
Do you want to deal with all the magic damage and risk dying very quickly to the Gideonq? Because Gideonq, he is a marksman, but the way that he damage is outputted is kind of very, very bursty with the passive, with the criticals coming in and out. And Lolita again! Lolita!
I remember seeing
second debut in
Lolita day one. We saw Lolita day one.
Yes.
Took a break yesterday.
Yeah, Lolita looking all right. Probably can deter the Brody a little bit, the Selena a little bit. Cannot do much on the Eve when the damage coming from space. I'm not too sure about this Lolita pick. Gideonq, how about you?
I want to see a coordinated team play. When you see torn apart memories, they all get behind Lolita, and for the first time, she's going to block all the projectiles. That's what I want to see. It's never been done before, but it'd be very cool if it did happen.
That would be a boom, bang, bada bing moment.
It's so specific, though.
Look, most of the time when it comes down to something like a Numenor Blast, I'm guessing that they want some form of disengage. And I think this is interesting because I would have preferred something like a high loss, but it works in multiple layers, blocking Selena arrows, a lot of projectiles to protect yourself against, and the Numenor Blast to say, hey, if you want to go in hard, I don't mind sacrificing one member for the greater good.
Well, if it's that one member in the name of Shark, aka Oscar, then so be it. Welcome to NAVI versus BTK.
Out the opposite laner, but in this game he's using a marksman emblem, the Electro Flash. So perhaps he's looking for more of a sustained game. He just wants to stay in the lane as much as he can. If he can bully someone up, great. If not a big deal.
Let's not forget that Electro Flash is one of the few emblems that actually scale pretty well towards the later stages of the game. Remember, BTK have a lineup that is really, really tanky. He's not going to be able to secure those kills as easily as most people think. So I think this is just a great adaptation coming in from Navi.
Yeah, and Navi is super aggressive. Defender leaving the XP lane early on, not even a minute in, helping clear this side of the jungle for Sunsetlover. Getting that Lethal Wanderer real quick. Now you can kind of see what the Selena's doing. Earlier, when Selena made her debut here in M3, not so much. It did not help. But now, a minute in already, I can see how different it is for Navi.
Yeah, I mean, Sawo's got to be very, very careful. If he goes down early, it's going to be difficult. But yeah, you can see the small interactions. The shield is going to be able to block the Abyssal. You don't really get stunned. Walk away. It's fine. That's the main idea.
Up top, it's going to be a 2v1. Sawo trying to help out. In mid, it's the same, but mirrored over for BTK. Arrow thrown out, trying to hit that. And Zane, very comfortable. Very comfortable, no pressure at all. Did he lose it? He did!
He lost it.
Oh, that's why. The comfort is not on his side.
Oh, no, that's a little unlucky, but you can tell that Zane did not want to use that retribution. He's got bigger fish to catch, like the turtle that he wants to hang around. Just a little unlucky there. That's fine, but let's see. This first turtle is going to mean so much for Navi, and BTK, they want to drag this turtle out for as long as possible.
It's so curious, was that well-timed, or was that just Zane complacent with his small camp take?
He's very complacent because he can definitely wait out the damage from the Abyssal Trap and then continue on.
Oh well, let's see. I hope they don't miss out on this one. Priority going over to BTK, 4 members here. That's going to be 4 from Navi answering back. Real manipulation set in. Defender pushing them back with the Cutter in the Inferno and the Vengeance. He's still alive. Sunsetlover confirms it. First blood drawn though by Fwydchickn. Turtle for the hero. I think Natus Vincere walked away with that happy.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Nagib got cancelled out. They knew it was kind of strange how the fight went down. I think Nagib didn't really communicate with the rest of the team that, you know, Shark was standing a little nearby. Sawo was a little low, so he couldn't do much but just being living artillery, same as Nagib. However, Shark getting a great cancel on that real world manipulation made all the difference.
Yeah, and right now, let's look at the butterfly effect. Let's look at the level from Sunsetlover. Level 6, Mobazane just reached level 5. Just by missing out on one creep, just by missing out on that turtle, we can definitely see a big change in EXP.
He wants to get ahead here. Lil is protecting himself, but Navi look for the counterattack here.
Void Crystal dropped in by Nagib, Sunsetlover. He can try to go deep, but they're already ahead, about 1,000 gold already. And now you can see how difficult it is as a gold laner to not have that range advantage. Yes, Victor's bullying over Lil, but the gold lead speaks for itself. Let's look at the items.
Yeah, right now let's looking at Lil. Lil has a mix of everything. He has a little bit of damage, he has a little bit of HP, as well as magic resist. Looking like he doesn't care too much about this early game. He just wants to have equal of everything. He just doesn't want to die, which does show in his emblem of choice. So it looks like Navi is playing a very different game than what we usually see in the Southeast Asia region.
Honestly, I think they're playing for first item. I think that's the general idea. Even though Lil may not necessarily have a lot of control over the lane unless the rest of Navi is rotating to that side of the map, you can see he's got more gold than Victor, he's got more EXP than Victor, and Victor, who also took Avarice, as long as Lil plays a passive game and minimizes the effectiveness of this rune, then I guess it's fine for him.
Yeah, no, the range differential is so huge. You have to hit your opponent to get the extra money, and it's not just happening right now for Victor. Zia popping the feathered airstrike. Nagib throwing out those void crystals. Sawo just putting up a perimeter with the threat of activation. Oh, here we go. Speaking of activation, Numinum Blast hitting nothing but air. Down goes Zia. Defender again, biting down. Shark, his target. Arrow thrown out by Sawo, pushing away the rest of BTK. Navi gonna look to confirm their second turtle.
Okay, nicely done. Very nicely done for either teams. They have very clear ideas of how they want that fight to shape out. And the moment it's not going their way, they back out there. Turtle slain here, brought to you by the STB. My goodness, so far it's been going pretty good.
Amazing conversion rate for Natus Vincere here. They're gonna go ahead and take that turtle buff, use it to space out top lane, take that turret, and then answer back to mid. They're not gonna let BTK get this for free. Arrow thrown out by Sawo. Trap set in underneath Zane. Oh, look at the burst! Wow. Zane is not happy. Look at that. Oh.
I mean, he will be okay. Okay, he will be okay at the end of it. He needs the recall, unfortunately, and pathing up might not be the greatest option. Lil's going to get attacked, and yeah, cross-map plays are being happen.
Natus Vincere very, very mobile. Lil, oh, three-man gank down bottom. Victor, finally a little bit of space, room for him to breathe. But Sunsetlover gonna clear this wave just in case Lil comes back soon enough, because next turtle coming down bot.
With 60 seconds on the clock here, the question is how is Navi going to be going above and beyond, right? When it comes down to choking out the jungle and really getting ahead in terms of that gold. So far, it's going well. It's 1K, but it's 6 minutes in. They've got about less than 2 minutes before they start getting into mid-game. And so far, BTK making sure that even if they do get cut, there's barely any bleeding.
I would even make the argument BTK is still winning. Because even though they're down in gold with this kind of composition, as long as you don't die so much in the early game, you're doing well because they have a lot of scaling heroes with the Shin, with Zia. Farsa is going to hurt later on in the stage of the game, and Brody has a lot of range, but Farsa is the queen of range.
So the pressure's on Navi. Navi has to go really fast. Navi has to use their range, use the early pressure that Sunsetlover and Sawo are putting, and make the most of it. 1 and 2 in 7 minutes, that doesn't really inspire any sort of confidence.
I think the worst part about it all is that Navi is trying to use bush tactics to their advantage, but when you're up against someone like Shin, the mountain structure just gives you way too much information. They have to come up with a different plan, and I think split pushing is what they've decided on.
And slowly, I think Navi's using this pressure, using this time to kind of change up, get their hands on the clutch and change the way that they attack, because instead of looking for fights, instead of looking for kills, they're taking turrets.
Yeah, but I mean, the split push is confident here, but I want to see more from them.
Oh, puncture in. Shark not looking great. Sawo misses the dive in. Now Navi, they're going to try to find one. Instead, they got caught out. Sunsetlover goes down. Point blank feathered airstrike. Defender caught out far away from home. Mountain Shocker setting them in. And a jump by Victor. Defender pops the vengeance, pops the counter inferno. He's not gonna live. Mobazane popping the passive left and right. A lot of crit, a lot of bursts from this Yi Sun-shin, and just like that, BTK are ahead again.
Can Lil finish this off? I don't think he does not have torn apart memories, unfortunately. And BTK are doing a phenomenal job now in the driver's seat during this the mid game so far. With the next Lord coming up, I think, you know, Navi at this point of time, they've got to make some kind of god tier play.
Oh, they catch him. That's Zia catching a face full of torn apart memory. As you just mentioned, Lil gets it off cooldown, and I think BTK lost track of when it was ready too.
Yep, they hopefully open up mid here, but here comes the Numenon Blast.
Oh, did not get the flicker in, but Nagib a little too confident. Mobazane free hits to the face.
It's interesting how this fight is turning up. I think there's a lot of disrespect on either side. Navi, you know, using real world manipulation right in front of somebody's face like that, especially when you're up against a jungler who's definitely 2 levels above you. You're hitting above your weight at this point.
Out of your league even. You have a shield as an Eve, but it's not that huge. And just like that, it opened up bottom lane for Victor.
Yeah, and I do have to say, when we talk about Naqib, he has done it twice now. When he opened the real-world manipulation in an open space, giving opportunities for BTK to really put on the pressure on him based on his own mistakes. So far, Defender, being the bigger brother, has helped him out. But he himself has to watch himself because later stages in the game, right now, BTK, engages. Sunsetlover going in front, but nothing's happening.
Catches an arrow. Up top, there's a skirmish. 1v2 Defender versus Fwydchickn and Mobazane. Yeah, Laphel, you were saying.
No, right now, we can see that Navi has a lot of options, and Lil getting caught out.
BTK doesn't want to stop. Lil's going to get taken down here. Numenon Blast to make sure they confirm the kill. Shark here at the tip of the real-world manipulation. Victor kept in as well. They're happy to go for the 1-for-1 trade.
The patience from Sunsetlover. He could have just gone straight on towards Phoveus, but you needed to make sure that Nagib is going to have a good time. He gets hit by the Astaroth's Eye, but he doesn't want to give him multiple procs to dodge the damage. So really good play coming in from Navi. Unfortunately for Lil, he has to pay the price, but at the end of the day, it's going to be BTK who's going to be coming up on top of him in the economic game.
Yeah, right now when we look back at the replay, we can see that Lil is a little bit tanky, and this comes to question, what is he building right now? Because it's obvious that he has the Athena shield, but I'm worried that he prioritizes so much on his defensive capabilities right now to the point where Navi does not have enough damage.
Yeah, basically he's just a torn apart memory machine and that's it. Like, he has to make sure he has stacks, get the ult in, and that's not the way you play Brody, ideally. Ideally, you want to be able to still hurt even with your basics.
At least have a Blade of Despair.
Yeah, at least have that Blade of Despair. That's the one we were looking for. But he's building it right now. He's taking a Malefic Roar instead just to kind of break structures open because they are going for their secondary win condition, which is going to be trying to get through the mid game with the help of their split pushing powers.
And right now, the map is open for BTK. Interestingly enough, it's these false engages, these wrong entries. And look at this, they're answering back. Sawo confirms the kill off of the manipulation, but it's a trade. Mobazane takes down Lil. Naqib follows through. 2 for 1 so far, and the Lord is still for BTK. Right for the taking. Down goes Sunsetlover as Victor dances. Defender, the Flaming Demon, he's running away. Contra Inferno in tow. Lord has been reset, but that's still all 4 members remaining for BTK ready to take this Lord. What a turnaround, what a retake.
Ooh, that was good. That was good coming in from BTK, but Navi needs to realize that going in with so many dashes, I mean, Fwydchickn, he's having the time of his life here. He's like, when do you want me to use my ultimate? Now? A bit later? I can wait, it's fine. Give me another proc. I don't mind. There's no way they are getting through this absolute trope of BTK when they're surrounding and making sure Mobazane has the space.
Hyped up Mobazane has not disappointed as of right now. Again, people know him as a marksman main. And when he positions like this, even though it looks bad, it's still good. And the fact that BTK, they have the instinct to always look at him and it's like, wait, he's a bit out of position. We have to go to him. We have to protect him. And in this kind of situation, in team fights.
Oh, just like that, Nagib destroyed by BTK, and they're not done. Numenon Blast keeping him in check. Shark gets 3 for none, double kill for Mobazane, and they're still going in. Sunsetlover, Thorn Rose to survive the assault. Lord marching down bottom. What a synchronous push. Top lane, tier 2, bottom lane inhibitor. You can count the seconds before it's over, because ladies and gentlemen, BTK has come to play. They take down NAVI.
GG, well played. The bloodthirsty
Is Brody, where usually how a Brody is played, they want to really pressure the side lane where you want to build your Blade of Despair first, even if you don't complete it, but just having all of those little items adding up to your physical damage is going to be instrumental to your win. In this game, Lil put a little bit here, a little bit there, you know, have a little bit of HP, magic resist, and the rest, I kind of feel like it's a little bit counterintuitive, where I wanted him to be a little bit more aggressive, especially going up against Victor. Esmeralda can be a problem as well, especially with that average really trying to go in front, poke you out, but I feel like he really should have won the matchup. And 13 minutes in, looking at Mobazane, first item going for that War Axe, but once he had that Blade of Despair, it almost looked like he abandoned any kind of safety. He was just like, guys, I'm gonna go in, and I want you guys to really protect me. And back in my day, Leo, when you have Esmeralda and Nofovius in the first pick, it's almost GG because they are very tanky, very difficult to deal against. And from the side of NAVI, no one can really damage them. The Lancelot is not going to do much in this game. But right now, let's look at the MVP of the game. The MVP is going to go to Mobazane with 5-0-5 match. KD.